Angel Hunters, Nero 0x. Nero 03, Q&A. The mad teenager scientist, wicked stepmother Susan, was about to give the team its very first mission. It was a moment marked in history, the day the doomsday clock started a tick-tock ticking on her evil plan to destroy the world. Exciting times for you and our wannabe motley crew of angel hunters. Just then, amidst her hazy mist of joy, a thought as sudden as a snap of the fingers made her stop and say, "Oh, snap!" Something told her that maybe she should let them ask a few questions. You know, the way normal employees do during orientation. She reserved a moment to force the three of them to download an app onto their phones they did not want, called Cryoblade. The newfangled application was a work portal that followed them wherever they went, but most importantly, allowed them to do things all Illuminati employees did when trying to take over the world. Yup, it was as boring as it sounded, but villains were no different. If they were going to put all the pieces in all the wrong places and topple America like a really mean game of Jenga, they needed a functional work hub. She hugged her clipboard like a giant stress ball and uttered, "I am so going to hate myself for this, but sorry in advance to the observer. I know I promised we'd move on, but does anyone have any questions before we move on to our first mission?" She crossed her fingers and hoped they'd be smart and nope out of it so they could take a lunch break. But nope, not Nero. He instantly raised his hand. When the poor doc saw this, she clarified by adding, "Anyone with a smart question? Me, pick me," Nero chanted. "Gah, what do you want, Nero? Do we get cool uniforms?" "No," she exclaimed. "Really? Why not?" Susan turned to William for help. Of course he wasn't much use. God had stolen his personality and replaced it with a koala. That's why all he said was villains don't get costumes, which didn't really answer the question or aid her in any way. "Yeah, they do," Linda disagreed. Wicked stepmother stormed and stomped about like an angry chihuahua. "This is Angel Hunters, not your mom or dad's comics. If you want a uniform so bad, you can become a neophyte in the Dark Order. That way you can work your way up the ladder until you get to wear the cool acolyte uniform. Hopefully you get upgraded to a legate so I can wipe your brain. Still doesn't mean we can't have nice things," Linda muttered. "Are there any more questions?" she asked, ignoring her comment altogether as another snarky remark. When Nero raised his hand again, the doc dropped her head into her clipboard and groaned in despair at the sheer pointlessness of it all. "What is it this time? Does the reader even like Angel Hunters?" Nero asked. "Are you asking me or the observer?" She droned back. "You. The reader doesn't talk." "It's a dumb question," she snapped. "Actually, it's not when you think about it," Linda muttered. Linda," the doctor snarled. "Why yes, wicked stepmother? Stop agreeing with Nero." "Sorry," she squeaked. "Are there any real questions? Questions that pertain to your training? What will be expected of you? How the process works? You know, stuff the reader might care to know. Stuff you might care to know instead of all these frivolous questions," she inquired. Pissed. "Hey, Linda," Nero whispered. "What is it?" she whispered back. "Who would win in a fight between me and Goku?" he quietly asked. "Goku, obviously," Linda replied. "I'd kick his ass," he said. "No, you wouldn't," she said. "Yes, I would," he said back. "Who's Goku?" Nano asked. Linda and Nero fell out of their respective chairs when their squad mate asked the question. He had to be trolling. I mean, he had to. No way he didn't know who Goku was. Everybody knew who Goku was. Their rude laughter and shameless finger-waging forced Nano to link up to the AI matrix and retrieve an answer. He grunted in disapproval after finding the information he was seeking. "Definitely Goku," Nano replied. "I'll show you." Nero hollered while bolting to his feet in anger. He wanted to teach Computer Boy a lesson in manners, but was afraid Wicked Stepmother would yell at him again or do something gnarly like steal his head and lock it in a glass jar like in Futurama. The chilling idea made him sit back down and lick his wounded imagination like an imaginary dog. Linda raised her hand. "I have a question for the observer." "Get off the floor, you idiot," Wicked Stepmother shouted. "Sorry," she said before doing a swift kip up to her feet. Wicked Stepmother glared at her and said, "Why would you want to ask the neutral observer a question? They can't respond." "I don't know," she shrugged. "What do you mean you don't know?" "They could in the comment section." "Dear God," Susan uttered in utter defeat as she returned to her new hobby of trying to smother herself with her clipboard. "Go ahead. Ask away." Linda waved at you all shyly and said, "Hi. So, what's your favorite color?" "Mine's is black, but only because I'm a ninja. If I wasn't, it would totally be orange." "Ooh, orange starburst are my favorite candies. At ninjutsu school, I would get all the other kids to give me their orange pieces until I had this giant treasure trove of sweetness. It was pure gold. A lot of people hate them for some reason. Oh well, more for me, I guess. So, do you like orange starburst too?" she asked with a cute giggle. "I'm just being silly. Come on, loosen up a bit. You're a part of the team now." I did have a serious question though. Own any expensive jewelry? A ring? Earrings? Any priceless heirlooms laying around by chance? I'm not asking because I want to swipe them or anything. No, I'd never do anything as unpleasant as steal from you," she said, followed by nervous laughter. Seeing that she had just told on herself, she quickly slinked back down and tried to sink as far as possible into her desk like a turtle hiding in its shell. "Nano, ask a question," Wicked Stepmother demanded. "I don't have one," he replied. "I do," Nero said. "Oh no. You've asked enough questions to last one sentient AI life cycle," Wicked Stepmother Susan said while staring at Nano and waiting for him to do as commanded. "Fine. I'll ask." Nano acquiesced. "Good. What's your question?" "It's for the observer." "Great. Another question for the neutral observer. I hope yours at least has something to do with the narrative. How do you feel about watching the world be destroyed? Your precious America dream snatched from your fleshy fingers by my metally fingers. Everything you know consumed by darkness. The greatest empire ever known taken down by me and my squad. I won't stop until everything around you falls apart and crumbles in your mouth like... processing. He paused to try to finish coming up with something clever. Until everything crumbles in your mouth like... crumble cookies, Nero blurted. Yay! Yummy! Linda laughed. Hey! Nano growled bitterly. Nano, you were supposed to ask a real question, not threaten the neutral observer with fire and brimstone like you always do, she shouted. Sorry, Mother. I got carried away. I have a question, Nero said. You can't be serious, she replied. Why does he keep calling you Mother? Nero asked. Because I created him. I thought I already told you that. Yeah, but how did you create him? Why does it matter? Ouch. Never mind. Thank you. You finally found some sense. I did? Where? I thought I only had $5. I said cents, not cents, she hollered. Oh, sorry, wicked stepmother. I mean, it is a legit question. How bad would it be to answer it? I'm sure the reader would like to know just as much as me, Linda insisted. This Q&A is officially over. William stepped forward and placed a hand atop her shoulder before she could pounce on Linda like an angry terrier. It was time to get down to business and give our wannabe angel hunters the details on their first mission after a short break. Yes, a break. That was a lot of info, and like any good orientation, they needed some time to process it. William informed Nero and Nano that they could stretch their legs a bit, but warned them not to wander too far. Then he informed Lenda that she would not be taking a break. She would be showing you around as punishment for arriving late. She ignored Nero's laughter and put on a brave face as she approached you and gleefully accepted her brutal punishment. "We'll be back in no time," she assured you, and more importantly, Sensei. Her cheeks turned rosy when he grunted at her shoddy attempt at flattery. After skipping out the door, she told you to wait right there, leaned back into the room, and meekly said, Sensei, what is it?" William asked. Nero bumped her on the way out. When he refused to say excuse me, she threatened doom upon him with her ninja sword. You could hear his laughter down the hall. It infuriated her, but instead of chasing after him, she took a deep breath and told herself one of her ninjutsu mantras about patience. It didn't work. She still wanted to steal his soul and trap. "Lenda, did you want something?" William asked again. Seeing the sensei and Dr. Susan engaged in conversation snapped her out of her fantasy. "Sorry. Hope I'm not interrupting. I can come back." "You're not. What do you want?" William asked patiently. She looked over at you and then back at Sensei. Whatever she was thinking put a frown on her face. How can I give them a tour when I need one myself?" "What do you mean?" he asked with a raised eyebrow. "You know, I've never been here before. Isn't that what you'd call a pothole if I gave our friend a tour of a place I've never even been to?" "You mean plot hole?" "Huh? What did I say?" "Pothole," he told her. "Oh crap, I can't believe I said that. Is there any way we can edit that out the story? I don't want the reader to think I'm stupid." "No, I think it should stay." "Sensei, whose side are you on?" "Definitely not the side of a thief." What do you mean, Sensei?" "I saw you sneaking around last night. You thought I was asleep. I wasn't. I would never do such a thing. You are a very skilled ninja." Thank you, no. Okay, well, I am a skilled ninja, just not in the way you're thinking. You didn't take anything, which means you were just scoping out your target first. That makes sense. It's the same thing I would do if I were a cat burglar. Lenda leaned out the doorway and looked over at you. Yup, you heard the whole thing, especially the part when he called her a cat burglar. Forget shallow, rosy cheeks. Her face might as well have been a tomato. If embarrassment had a name, it would be Lenda N. Landbird. The only saving grace was the fact that Nero wasn't around to tease her about it. Nano too, but for different reasons, he already looked down on humanity enough. She didn't need him looking down on vampires too. Wait, did he already look down on vampires too? Huh? She would have to ask him when she got the chance. Nah, too direct. He's sure to reveal his hand in due time. Why do you think I said I'd have you show him the place when you first got here? William asked. His question was the perfect trapdoor. It helped her escape out of her own crazy maze of thoughts she scarily found herself often lost in. Huh? What was that? She asked. The very first part to the story. Part 1. New recruits. I clearly stated that I would have you show our friend around the place since you thought it was acceptable to be late on the first day. Because I already knew you knew the layout. Lenda snapped her fingers and said, That's right. It's totally not a plot hole when you put it that way. Wow, you are a legend for a reason. Nice try, William smirked. I'm serious. You're wicked. Instead of trying to butter me like a warm piece of toast, make sure you meet us outside in the courtyard when you finish your assigned task, he told her. Got it, she said before giving him the thumbs up. Try not to touch anything. Don't touch anything. Got it. Oh, and Lenda. Yes, Sensei? Don't steal anything either. Don't steal anything. Got it.